Composition of functions, part 2. Given f of x is equal to 2x plus 1, g of x is equal to 1 over x, and h of x is equal to x squared minus 4, find g after f of x, f squared x, which means f after f of x, so substituting f into itself, function f into itself, g after h of x, h squared x, which is basically hx, so that would be the function h substituted into itself, so h after h after f after g of x, and part 6, the values of x for which g after h of x is equal to 1 over 12. Part 1, g after f of x. G after f of x, i.e. find f of x and sub it into g. So for our rough work, we're just going to write down the function f of x equals 2x plus 1. And we're going to substitute that into the function g. So we get g of 2x plus 1. So going up to our question, g of x is 1 over x. So we're going to replace that x with 2x plus 1. And that's our answer. Part 2, f squared x, which means f after f. So f also is another way you could write this out. I'm going to just write that in there now. So fx, so f after f of x, means f after f of x, i.e. sub f of x into f. So in our rough work, we're just going to write down the function f of x equals 2x plus 1. And then we're going to substitute that into the function f. So we get f of 2x plus 1. So we go up to our question. So f of x is 2x plus 1. So we're going to swap that x for a set of brackets and put 2x plus 1 into the brackets. So we get 2 times 2x plus 1 plus 1, which gives us 4x plus 2 plus 1 when we multiply out the brackets, which gives us 4x plus 3. So that's our answer. Part 3, g after h of x. So g after h of x, i.e. find h of x and sub it into g. So our rough work is just to write down our function h of x equals x squared minus 4. So we're going to sub that into our function g. So we're going to get g of x squared minus 4. So we go up to our question. So g is 1 over x. So we're going to replace the x with x squared minus 4. And that's our answer. Part 4 is h squared x, which means h after h of x, which means h after h of x, i.e. find h of x and sub it into h, or that could be written as h after h of x. So our rough work is just to write out the function h of x equals x squared minus 4. So h after h of x, we're going to get h of x squared minus 4. So we're going to substitute x squared minus 4 into itself. So our question says h of x equals x squared minus 4. So we swap that x for a set of brackets and we put x squared minus 4 into the brackets. So we get x squared minus 4 to be squared minus 4. You see now how important the brackets are. If we didn't have brackets, then we would just be applying the squared to the 4. But it has to be applied to the whole thing. So that's why brackets are essential for these questions. So our rough work, x squared minus 4 to be squared is x squared minus 4 times x squared minus 4, which gives us x to the power of 4 minus 8x squared plus 16. So we just write that underneath and then we bring down the minus 4. And then simplifying, we get x to the power of 4 minus 8x squared plus 12. And that's our answer. Part 5, h after f after g of x. So we're using all 3 functions now. So h after f after g of x, i.e. find g of x and sub it into f, then sub that into h. So rough work is just to write down our first function. So remember, it's always the function on the right hand side that we start with. So g of x equals 1 over x. We got that from the question. So we're going to get h of f of 1 over x. So we're going to substitute 1 over x into f. So you work backwards. So we're going to substitute 1 over x into the function f. And the function f is 2x plus 1. So we swap that x for a set of brackets and we put 1 over x into the brackets. So f of 1 over x is going to be 2 times 1 over x plus 1, which gives us 2 over x plus 1. So now we're going to get h of 2 over x plus 1. So we're going to substitute 2 over x plus 1 into the function h. So we're going to swap that x for a set of brackets and put 2 over x plus 1 into the brackets. So h of 2 over x plus 1 is equal to 2 over x plus 1, 2b squared minus 4. Again, the brackets here are essential. So there's a bit of working out to do here. So I'm going to do that on the next slide and then I'll come back to this question. So I'm just going to focus on what's highlighted in yellow on the next slide. So this is my rough work. So 2 over x plus 1 to be squared minus 4. So 2 over x plus 1 to be squared is 2 over x plus 1 multiplied by 2 over x plus 1 and then bring down the minus 4. So cracking open the egg, the first egg, the 2 over x comes down and gets stuck onto the second egg. And then the plus 1 comes down and gets stuck onto the second egg. And then you bring down the minus 4. Then multiplying out your brackets, 2 over x times 2 over x is 4 over x squared. 2 over x times 1 is 2 over x. 1 times 2 over x is 2 over x. And 1 times 1 is 1. And then you bring down the minus 4. So we're going to bring down the 4 over x squared, and now we have to add these two like terms together. So 2 over x plus 2 over x, our common denominator is x. So we get 2 plus 2 as our numerator, which is 4. So we get 4 over x. And then 1 minus 4 is minus 3. So we have our rough work done. We can now go back to the question. So as the previous slide showed, we have 4 over x squared plus 4 over x minus 3. And that's our answer. That's our final answer. Part 6. We're trying to find the values of x for which g after h of x is equal to 12. So we're going to work out g after h of x, let it equal to 12, and then solve for x. So g after h of x, i.e. find h of x and sub it into g and then solve. So our rough work is h of x equals x squared minus 4. We just took that from the question. So we're going to work out g of x squared minus 4. So we're going to substitute x squared minus 4 into the function g. The function g is 1 over x. So we're going to replace that x with x squared minus 4, and we're going to let that equal to 1 over 12. So then in our rough work, g of x squared minus 4, so the function g, again, is 1 over x. We're going to replace that x with x squared minus 4. So we've 1 over x squared minus 4. So we're going to replace g of x squared minus 4 with 1 over x squared minus 4, and that's all equal to 12. And now it's just basic algebra, so algebraic fractions. So we're going to solve. We're going to cross multiply and solve. So we're going to multiply 1 by x squared minus 4, and then have our set of brackets around each of those and our equal sign. And then we're going to multiply 1 by 12. And multiplying out the brackets, we get x squared minus 4 is equal to 12, which gives us x squared minus 4 minus 12 is equal to 0, which gives us x squared minus 16 is equal to 0, which is x squared is equal to positive 16. So x is equal to the square root of 16 because the inverse of squared is square root. And the square root of 16 is plus or minus 4. So our answer is x is equal to positive 4 or x is equal to minus 4. So we get two solutions. So we found the values of x for which g after h of x is equal to 1 over 12. And just important to note, the reason we have two values is because the square root of 16 could be 4 or it could be minus 4. Because 4 times 4 gives us 16, but minus 4 times minus 4 also gives us 16. So that's why we have two different numbers here. So for example, if you had got the square root of 25 here, your answer would be plus or minus 5. If you'd got the square root of 36 here, your answer would be plus or minus 6.